Hey guys, this is Eric from ET Figure Unboxing, and in this video, I'm going to do a really quick review on the SH Figuarts Thor from the Avengers Age of Ultron. So this guy came out a while back, but I still want to share my thoughts with you guys, even though there's a lot of reviews out there already. And here's the front of the box featuring this like window packaging, and these packaging has been really good from the Bandai because they know we're collecting these stuff. And here's the right of the box. And here's the left side of the box, and that looks really good, but I don't think the final product looked as good though. We're just gonna get into that. And here's the back of the box featuring the back style, movable option parts, and molding. The molding looks very good in general. It just looks pretty good, but it doesn't look like that for the final figure. But yeah, let's jump straight into the figure and see what we have. Alright, so here we have the figure itself still in the packaging, and he came with two pairs of hands, one open palms and hammer holding hands. Two kinds of handle for the hammer. We're gonna take a look at that later, and these interchangeable eyes. And the cape came out like at a separate package, as you can see over here. It just goes like that, and you have to like plug it in. All right, let's get into the figure and see what we have. All right, so here we have the figure itself. I'm not gonna use the turntable because I don't think it's too beneficial for this guy, and we're just gonna take a closer look at the face sculpt. The face sculpt looks really good. I think it's a really good iteration of the Chris Hemsworth, but the eyes is a little too big. I don't think it looks that good from a certain angle. Like if you're just looking at it like straight, if you're staring like in the camera like just straight. But from a certain angle, he does looks very good. So I'm quite happy with what they're doing. But I still think this idol looking face, his eyeball is just too big. From afar, he looks okay. But you know, when you're this close, it just the looks kind of throws me off. But I still think it's the best in the market. I shouldn't say the best, maybe like one of the best, because I don't collect any of the domestic figures, but I do take a look at some of the Marvel Legends and stuff. I just don't like it. And yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is one of the best, even though he's around $40 or like 2 times the price than the other Thor. And a lot of people complain the import figure being really small, because the American figures tend to be bigger and taller, but that's just personal preference, right? I like these 6-inch figures, and I don't really want my figures to be too big to the point where I can't really play with them. But yeah, this is what he looks like, and I think the sculpt and the paint job, everything looks pretty good in general. Like, yeah, I don't have any quality issues or something. But yeah, let's jump straight into the articulation, and I'm just gonna cut my video. All right, so for the articulation, that was literally 1 second ago. He has this kind of, he doesn't have a bicep swivel, I believe, unfortunately, and everything is just on a ball peg right here, and this thing pops out, so that's really cool. But they sacrificed the bicep articulation just because they want to have this kind of muscle tone looking, but a lot of people complain the muscle doesn't look too good. It looks kind of skinny. It should be a little buffer, and the tricep should come out a little more, but I don't know, I feel like it's okay. I can live with this. I don't really want them to be like, you know, all that buff, but I think Japanese people tend to make their muscle tone a little bit lighter compared to the American figures, where like Power Rangers can have like freaking huge biceps or whatever, right? But yeah, he can do bicep curl no problem. This thing is double jointed, so the range is pretty good, and this thing is on a ball joint, so this motion is still pretty good. Yeah, and the head moves around that much. You look up and down no problem, and the hair is kind of bothers me, but I think it's okay because I don't think he's gonna turn his head that much. But yeah, this whole thing, as you can see, is like on a piece, and there's no articulation for the hair or anything. And the ab crunch, I know some people have this piece pop out all the time, but I haven't had that problem yet. But I don't want to risk it because I think that piece is kind of hindering for him to, like, you know, bend too much forward. But backward, he's okay. I don't think Thor really need to bend that much backward unless you're like dodging something like that, right? But I don't think he'll ever need to do that because you just kick people's ass in the hammer. And he's on the older. I don't think this is a pull down joint even. I don't think. Oh yeah, you can. Or okay, so he's on the older. I don't know if you can see that. He's on the pull down like Dragon Ball Z figures where you can pull down the hip, and it allows a little bit more articulation. I don't think he really needs that, but they do include that. Unlike the Captain America, they didn't. And here's some articulation for the feet and legs. And yeah, and this does swivel. And yeah, that looks pretty good in general. But yeah, that's it for the articulation, and let's jump straight into the accessories. I'm gonna go in kind of weird order over here. So here's the cape, and I'm just gonna assemble the cape later after I cut off the video. And he has these interchangeable eyes. So what you do is you kind of just pop out the head and then, you know, plug these in and then whatever. Like I'm just gonna show you guys what it looks like after you assemble them. And that's so what you do here is kind of creepy. You have to pull the whole head out, and then this thing will just be like a shell or something, and then you use the alternative eyes and you just like try to plug that in like right here, and then this whole thing becomes your new peg connect to your joints over there like that. And yeah, let's check out what. So here we have Thor assembled with the head, and this is what he looks like staring to the right. And that looks really good. But I don't think I'm ever gonna use it because I'm not a big fan of, you know, characters staring like to the right, to the left, or whatever. Because I don't usually put them in a stationary pose like this. But it would look really good if you just like pose him like this, like, you know, he's just staring at the right. I'm gonna kick your ass right now. So next up we have him staring at the left, of course, and you can do the exact same pose, but you know, just do that. And this is what it looks like close up. And the eyeball still looks pretty big to me, so I don't really like that. But with the correct lighting and everything, it could look good. But I think the reason why they make it so big is if you're staring at like very, very far. That looks really good if you're staring at very far. But when it gets close, not too good. But when it gets far, then it's okay. So I think that's what they're aiming for. I don't know. Maybe like put it very, very far on a shelf or something. But yeah, that's okay. Alright, so here I have the cape assembled, and some people really don't like the cape, but I'm very neutral about it because when I'm posing around, I don't really mind the cape too much. But the cape is articulated. You can do that and that. I don't know why they keep doing stuff like this, because I don't think cape looks like that in general. But it's cool that you have articulation over here, so you can kind of move it like this. So I guess that is the limit you want to stretch, because it gets kind of weird if you do that. It looks like he has like a 3-piece, right? And yeah, that's what it looks like. And if you want to, you can remove these 2 pieces from left and right. But that's if you want, so you can make your cape shorter. But I don't know why they make the color different though. Like this color is a little darker than the left and right. But that is okay to me. It's not like a big deal breaker. And you just plug the whole thing right here. There's like a hole in his back. You just plug that whole thing in there. And yeah, let's take a look at some of the hands he came with. Alright, so he came with these display open hands, and that looks pretty good because the hands is really, really well sculpted, and it's really, really well detailed. You can see all the lines and everything, all the patterns of the human hands, and he can pretend to be the Walking Dead. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, that's pretty cool. He also came, of course, with the weapon holding hands. He came with the hammer and stuff. That's very self-explanatory. I don't want to pretend you guys don't know anything about figures, so I'm not gonna like insult your intelligence right now. And I'm gonna show you the hammer. Hammer is over here, and this is how you put it back. Mine's really loose for some reason. I might have to apply some of the nail polish for the handle over here. So basically what you do is you pull that out, and then you just like plug that in. And let's see what that looks like when he's holding it. Alright, so here I have him holding the hammer, obviously using a display open hands, and that looks pretty good. And don't you just love it when you have to chip the paint for the holding hands? You always have to chip some paint when you try to put weapons in. And yeah, that looks pretty good. And let's look at the last accessory he came with. Alright, so he came with an extra piece of hand that's already holding the handle like this, so you can pretend he's flying with the hammer. I forgot the name of the hammer, by the way. I know the name, I just don't know how to pronounce it. I gotta like check back again on how to pronounce that. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and let's see what it looks like when he's actually using it. Yeah, so when you're using that, Thor can be flying to whatever, the galaxy or something. He just, going to his dad or something. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. It's pretty cool that I included that, but I'm probably not gonna use it just because I don't want him to be flying all the time, just like that. But yeah, that's pretty good. It's really cool that I included that, because that's just like attention to detail. He can fly like that, you know, like, ooh. I don't want him to crash into that shit. But yeah, look at some size comparison. Alright, so for the size comparison, I'm actually quite happy that Thor is quite tall. And this is him next to Captain America. They're about the same height. And for SH Figuarts, I think they have a really good height. But yeah, let me know if you want to look at the review of the, obviously, Captain America. But there's already a lot of them out there, so I don't feel like I need to do them. And I was just doing Thor because I felt like it, and he was in the box. And I just wanted to take him out and play with it. And here's him next to some of the more recent figures here. So here I have the Kakashi SH Figuarts. So he's even taller than Kakashi, I think. They're about the same height. Nah, he's a little taller, but Kashi has the hair. But yeah, shout out to Ken of Beans for these awesome effect parts. Just look at that. That thing is fully articulated. I just wrap it around his hands. And I have more of those. And that should be really good on Thor too. And here we have Minato from Naruto series. And this is I don't want to say this is father of Naruto because by now everybody knows already. And yeah, that's the fourth Hokage. Some people said their words fades, but mine doesn't fade. It looks really, really good. But yeah, that's really good. And here we have the Levi from Attack from Titans, and this guy's from Figma series. I feel like Levi should be a little shorter, but if Levi gets any shorter, he's just gonna be like too small of a figure to play with. And here we have Bruce Lee, which everyone's crazy about. And I really like how Bruce Lee is very small, because in real life, I don't think he's around 5'3", I think, or 5'5". I don't know. He's a really short dude. So this is really, really accurate. So people who are complaining about Bruce Lee's height, I think, yeah, it is kind of short, but it's definitely in scale, like with other figures they have over here. And here's the Revoltech Venom Snake. And yeah, they're about the same height. And Venom Snake should be buff, I think. So yeah, that looks really good. I like the two company having, the figures kind of in scale. And here's Ring from Figma, from the Face Stay Night series. And here's Persona 4 You. Or you, not you. You. Alright. And here I have a JoJo Bizarre figure. And this is Cars from season 2. He's really, really tall. But in a TV show, he's around 200 cm. So I can imagine that him being this tall. Alright, let's take a look at some of the other figures on the right. I'm just going to place him in the middle, and just bear with me while I put him in the middle. And this is what he will look like next to some of the figures I have over here. And there's Mewtwo from D-Arts, supposedly SH Figuarts right now. And some of the other figures like Captain America, Power Rangers, Disappointment Naruto, Kamen Riders, Hulk, and the Figma Spider-Man, even though I can't really tell the height of Spider-Man right now. And there's Piccolo, there's Gohan, so he's taller than Gohan. But yeah, like, I'm not too sure the scale of these Dragon Ball figures, because they're obviously very buff. But in terms of the height, I'm not too sure if they're like, human accurate. But yeah, I upgraded my backdrop over here with some of the effect parts, so it's really, really crowded back there right now. And yeah, this is what it looks like right now. And there's him next to the legendary, well, not legendary, but 3 of the Super Saiyan from the Cell Saga. And one of them from Frieza, actually. Like, the Goku's from Frieza Saga. And that's what he will look like compared to Goku. Goku's still pretty tall with the hair. And that's the Kamen Rider. And, whoa, those are actually on the impact effect, so they're pretty tall. But yeah, this is kind of crowded. I'm not too sure if I should do this. Because, yeah, just look at, like, even the write-ins behind there and everything. But yeah, this is what he will look like next to these figures. And let's jump straight into the final thoughts and see what we have. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I highly recommend the figure. I still think he's the best iteration of Chris Hemsworth, despite the eyes look kind of weird again. But from certain angle, he does look very, very good. He's the cheapest out of all the Avengers figures right now, so I would get him while he's really cheap. He's around $40 right now. Like $44 on Amazon with Prime. That is a steal for a lot of the SH Figuarts. I highly recommend him, but again, I don't collect any of the domestic figures. You probably already have a lot of Thors and probably don't feel like you need to get a Thor that's like, more expensive than a lot of domestic figures. But I do recommend him. And I apologize for reviewing such an old figure. I do have some new figures coming, and I think it's Beerus from Dragon Ball Super. Keep an eye out for that one. I'm going to do that really soon next week, because I will be getting that around Tuesday, I think, if the mailman doesn't screw with me. But yeah, do like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next review.